Greetings and salutations. This is something we affectionately call the McCrazy Podcast. Season 1, Episode 5.
I'm surprised we stuck with it this long.
Yeah, man.
5, wow.
Golly, the follow-through is amazing. My name is Mark McCrazy.
I'm Indy B.
DJ Menace, go Gators.
And so what we are is a longtime morning team who decided to do a podcast. And the podcast basically is us talking about the craziest stories of the week. A lot of times you'll miss these stories simply because the news cycle really is dominated by the...
Trump.
Yeah.
Real news, I guess.
Kinda. Political news and pundits. Yes, exactly. So we really get to the heart of the matter. These are the stories that really matter. The nonsense. All right? So in today's podcast, we'll be talking about several different things. One of the things is maybe you should opt for the insurance when you get the rental car.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Family found that out the hard way. Does anybody here know what a time capsule is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, for folks that don't know, a time capsule is something that usually is something from many years ago. They have a ceremony and they'll bury something. So say they buried something 30 years ago. They'll take artifacts from that year, put it into a little capsule, bury it, and then we're gonna dig it out 30 years from now and look at all this nonsense. And there's a yo-yo in there and a slinky and a newspaper article.
TV guide.
Right, exactly. Well, let me tell you, they went ahead and dug up a time capsule from 50 years ago, and guess what was inside? Talk about that.
It can't be good.
And guys, if a lady agrees to a booty call, you better be ready to give her the booty. If you don't, it could go south real fast.
We don't play like that.
These are some of the stories we'll be talking about in today's McCrazy Podcast. Let's get the party started. Did the friendliest and rudest states in America.
Friendliest and rudest.
Where do you think the friendliest state is?
Colorado.
Friendliest state in America. Colorado did make the top 10, somewhere around 7.
Wyoming.
I love Colorado.
Wyoming is in the list as well. It's like you're right below Texas.
So I'm anywhere in the upper Midwest. We got Nebraska. We got the Dakotas.
Actually, the friendliest state, I should say, is Minnesota, which is, I guess,
upper Midwest.
Yeah, upper Midwest. So you're right about that.
We're pretty sure.
And where was Texas?
Texas was number 4. Minnesota, Tennessee. I've been to Tennessee. I don't see it. South Carolina. Well, maybe got to be a certain hue. Tennessee, South Carolina, Texas, Wyoming, Indiana, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Hawaii for the friendliest states. Rudest states. Any guess?
Florida.
Florida is number 9. I think that's a little bit too low.
California.
California is not on here.
New York.
And why?
New York is not on here.
I don't find New Yorkers rude. I find they want to keep moving quick.
They're direct,
Not rude,
but I don't think they're, no. New Jersey is on here, though.
Yeah. Jersey people. That little short dude in the bagel shop, that was a Jersey dude.
They're feisty, real feisty.
Real feisty, like short dogs, yeah. The rudest state in America is Arkansas.
Wow.
It's, I'm sorry.
It's Arkansas.
I could go off on Arkansas. It's probably the most uneducated, too. And I feel you on Tennessee because it may be friendly, but when I see Nathan Bedford Forest Highway and Park, the guy who started the Klan, I'm sorry, it ain't friendly.
Yeah, I've been passively aggressively talked to in Tennessee several times.
Aggressively.
Yeah, yeah, making little comments like I'm stupid and I don't understand what you're saying. All right, well, speaking of racism, we'll move on. There is an amusement park, and they had to close down their brand new attraction. They got this ride. It's a spinning ride. Right? And it's like little airplanes, and it's got 2 arms and the airplanes spin around on each side of this arm.
Okay.
The problem is that on each one of these arms, there's 4 airplanes. Okay. But the way that the ride is shaped is that it looks like 4 spinning swastikas. And it's in Germany.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so they had to shut the whole ride down. They closed it down and said, "Oh my God, we didn't realize that." You guys had a footprint of this ride. You had the blueprint of it.
You had to have meetings on the design.
Absolutely. Somebody put this damn thing together and nobody scratched their head and go, "Hey, boss, this thing looks like a bunch of little swastikas."
Oh, man.
Look at that.
As a Trump supporter.
Germany on the program, everybody. That's Germany. Swastika ride. speaking of Trump, this woman is on Twitter and she is sharing something that a lot of people in our interracial relationships says they're dealing with. When you're married to a white Republican, you're a black woman, she says it has become a real challenge to stay in this marriage. Mm-hmm. She says the longer I'm with him, the blacker I become. She actually said on Twitter, I have no idea how to balance who we are or are becoming. The responses pretty much are exactly what you think they would be. One white male said, you married a white Republican, what did you expect? Another wrote, excuse me, sis, you still with him? I'm confused. Where's your self-worth? And then there's another one that says, there are many white men who love fetishizing black women while hating black people. Mm-hmm. So don't get it twisted. That seems to be a growing problem.
Thomas Jefferson.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like I always say, like, I don't know. I mean, I've been with black chicks. That doesn't mean a damn thing.
Mean nothing.
You having sex and knocking down black women don't mean you ain't a racist, or vice versa.
People are so horny they'll have sex with plastic. They'll have sex with dolls. That don't mean anything.
Exactly. Speaking of racism, since we're on this, might as well. A black housekeeper in Tennessee said she was not allowed to clean a church. And they gave her the craziest reason why she can't clean the church. Because the dog is in there and the dog don't like black folks.
Oh, wow.
It's not us. The dog don't like black people. It's not me.
Right. It's a white lad, don't like black folks at all. Jeez.
Well, they won't be getting their church clean.
Chocolate lab or something.
This really should be a police dog.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's already qualified. They don't need training.
You can start today.
In certain municipalities, it could go right through.
Yep.
Oh, boy. If you're new to this podcast, you kind of see how we lean. All right, so did you hear about this story where this elderly couple was busted for sex in a park?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a patch of, these are older folks.
Yeah, this isn't one couple.
No, it's several.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
The youngest person in here is 62.
Having basically an orgy in the park.
Yeah, butt naked, saggy sex is what they're doing at a park in Connecticut. The two oldest people, married couple, ages 82 and 85, say that they are innocent. And what is their defense? The guy says, there's no way I can have sex. I got no blood flow.
And I read that the 85-year-old woman was the only woman there. It was all men and her.
Oh, gross.
What?
Ew. It was all men and her. Yeah.
And she's an 85-year-old?
85.
This is a senior train?
Ew. Oh. Icky poo.
That train should never left the station.
No.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Since we're on the topic of being disgusting, Pennsylvania man was caught on video doing something at a Starbucks that he probably shouldn't have. Listen.
Want to know who this guy is after they say he peed on several pieces of merchandise at Starbucks. This happened around 9:45 Saturday night at the Starbucks inside Target. Police say the man walked behind the employee counter, peed into a sink and onto several pieces of merchandise, then fled.
Long as it wasn't a lemon cake. I love it.
Oh, man, lemon cake is all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Me too.
And then, plus you wouldn't be able to tell.
No.
That's gross. No Starbucks for anyone.
Oh, jeez. He walked behind the counter and peed in the sink.
Not at the Target.
I don't know if it was a Target Starbucks.
No, I said it was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did say it was
And that's like
Starbucks.
my favorite place on earth,
I
a Target
know.
with a Starbucks.
Oh, gosh, jeez. Glad he didn't pee on any of the market pantry stuff. So finish the sentence. A Florida woman reaches in her pants and pulls out a blank.
Alligator.
That's exactly right.
That was so
You heard that story
No, I
before.
didn't.
You didn't? Fort Myers woman pulled out a foot-long alligator from her pants during a traffic stop, and that's not all they found on her. They also found 40 turtles and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle backpack when they pulled her over for a traffic
The
stop.
turtles were in the turtle backpack? What kind of alternate universe?
How do you pull an alligator out of your pants?
I can't make this stuff up.
Fort Myers, when I think about it, it sounds like this kind of story would come out of
When you
Fort
say
Myers.
Florida, I just thought alligator.
Florida,
Joking.
Florida on the program. Florida being Florida on the program.
That's not a gun, officer. Relax.
Let's go to New Jersey. Let me tell you, I mentioned this early when we started the podcast. Guys, if a lady agrees to a booty call and she's going to drive over to see you, you bet be ready to perform.
Okay.
Okay? If not, you're going to anger her.
That's real.
Really upset. New Jersey woman got into her Honda Civic and drove over to the man's house at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's straight booty call.
Right? Only to discover that he had fallen asleep. When the woman arrived at his home, she knocked at his front door, but he didn't answer. And she got very angry. He wouldn't even answer the text. Right? So she went to a gas station where she bought a lighter fluid, and matches and set his home ablaze. Aggravated assault, attempted homicide. She's going to be in the clink for quite a long time.
You can't get us excited and then do that. That's bad.
She ain't getting no wang in the jail.
Well, maybe a prison guard or two. Speaking of wang, a naked man was arrested for shaking his penis at a woman at a shopping center. He just whips it out and blah, 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 look at that.
That's frowned upon.
You want that, don't you? You want some of that,
That
don't
is
you?
frowned upon apparently in Kentucky. I figure that Kentucky, maybe West Virginia would be the two states you could do that.
Right.
When police arrived at the mall, the man said he took off his clothes because he gets sexually aroused from exposing himself.
Duh.
Okay.
Why do you think I did it?
Let me tell you, he got the right one because some ladies would have beat the absolute hell out of him.
Yeah, he would have got kicked.
Oh, my gosh. Did you hear about what happened in the airport in Rochester?
No.
Yeah. So apparently a TSA worker, it was an incident, and the female security worker handed the man a note to a man that was going through security. As he passed through the metal detector, she handed him the note. He opens up the note, and then she busts out laughing. The note said, "You ugly." It's so terrible.
That's funny.
Right?
Why is that funny?
She was exposed because the guy sanctioned the security video, said, "I need that. I was violated. Give me the video." He got
Violated?
it. He got the video, posted it on YouTube, made a spectacle about it. Of course, the story went viral. The lady has since been fired.
Saying,
It's a joke.
I'm saying female TSA agents may not have, that much leg to stand on in a you ugly conversation.
It was a joke. He can't take a joke.
Oh, my God.
He's whack.
Indy, think about it. Some guy hands you a note, and you open it up, and it says, "You ugly."
Not only that, but you're passing through security to get on an airplane. These people are supposed to be worried about their damn job and keeping us safe.
And I saw the guy, and she got a point, but it's not nice.
I mean, my feelings would have been a little hurt, but dag, you gonna get her in trouble?
Yeah, she got to go. She obviously, her judgment's jacked up.
You ugly. You showed
Nobody called her a liar. Said she's inappropriate. Talked about time capsules at the beginning of this podcast, correct? Again, to recap, a time capsule is, they do this thing. It's like usually a ceremony where they take something from today and they put it in this time capsule.
And they bury it.
And they bury it. And then they open it up in about 30 years. And usually it's got so if there was one from the 80s, you'd open it up. It's like, oh, look, a Nintendo pole position cartridge.
Yeah, an E.T. doll.
Right, exactly.
Cabbage Patch.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, they did that from 1969. Officials out of town in New Hampshire have been waiting 50 years to pull this thing out of the ground.
Nice.
It's a time capsule. And when they pulled it out, boy, they were in for a surprise. Guess what was inside the time capsule? Nothing. It was completely empty.
That's jacked
And
up.
they were just waiting.
They paid for some publicity to be set up. Wow.
It was
That was
very Geraldo
Right.
Al Capone vaultish.
Very, very much so, right?
That's jacked up.
The only thing that's keeping me alive is I want to see what's in that time capsule.
We got 11 years to go.
That's right. Oh my God, if I can just make it another 3 months, I'll see what's in that time capsule.
Somebody dug that up, took the stuff out,
Yeah, and put it back.
reburied it.
Somebody who knew where it was.
Yeah.
It's like they
That's
couldn't
terrible.
wait. They waited 20 years. They're like, let me just go on.
There's a pack of Lucky Strikes buried down there by the school in a box.
No, they don't make those anymore. The menthols. Really? They're still in there? Kansas City. Have you guys ever been?
No, and I want to check it out, though.
Charming place. A man was seen carrying a life-size doll that he found in a downtown dumpster through the streets of Kansas City and got the town folks all in an uproar. Panicked locals say that the man was carrying around a topless, unconscious woman. One 911 caller says that it looked like he wanted to throw over a bridge. Another noted he dropped her on the sidewalk and drug her head over a curb.
This lady got to be dead, officer.
Another caller noted that the woman was slung over the man's shoulder, and he appeared to be trying to dress her. And then finally, one caller said the man was yelling "Savior" while holding the woman near the 12th Street Bridge. Finally, the cops showed up. to the scene only to discover the man was carrying a doll, which he told police he found in a dumpster of a restaurant.
What's wrong, officer? It's just me and my bitch.
And basically they said, I guess you didn't break a law. Just don't carry the doll around in public
That would
anymore.
have freaked me out if I saw that.
Yeah, you see him dragging her like the Flintstones, like a caveman, pulling a leg through the streets of Kansas City, head hitting curbs, side of mailboxes.
He knew what he was doing.
when
He
you get-
knew what he was
You
doing.
get back on the highway and you go, well, that was Kansas City, kids.
See all this plate?
Yeah, polite.
All right, so you may want to get the insurance. You may want to get the insurance when you rent a car.
Okay.
And this family learned that the hard way. A family vacationing in Yellowstone National Park had the front of their rental car smashed by a bison stampede. They went to this park hoping to see a moose that they had saw earlier. I guess maybe they met a friendly moose. And let's go back and see if Charlie the moose is there. Okay, kids, let's go. Well, guess what? They went at the wrong time, and a herd of stampeding bison were weaving through traffic, and one of them smashed the front of the vehicle.
Damn.
No one was hurt, but they went ahead and returned that damn Dodge Charger all tore the hell up.
Did you see that video recently of that little girl getting flipped by a buffalo?
I did.
I mean, he tossed her ass 20, 30 feet in the air.
Like she was a booger on your shoulder. You hear me talking to you?
I don't know about no friendly moose either, man. Ain't no such thing as a friendly moose.
Do you know how
Friendly
big a
wild
bison
animals,
is?
period.
Yeah, they're humongous.
I was in Colorado last year.
Like the size of an SUV.
And
Yeah.
there's a moose in the Rocky Mountain National Park, and mad cars pulled over, probably 20, 30 cars, including a park ranger. The park ranger was the scaredest person of all of us, hiding behind the vehicle, screaming at people, get down!
Because he's seen what they
A
do.
moose can do.
Yeah, why?
Or a buffalo.
Now, I don't know if it was the last podcast we did or the one prior to that, and we did the story about the lady or ladies that are hiding stuff in their vaginas.
I mean, it's almost
think that was
it's
the last
almost
one.
every podcast.
Well, let's not disappoint, right?
All right.
Okay.
On to St. Lucie, Florida. Classy place. Have you been?
Classy.
A woman ended up in the St. Lucie County Jail again after she crashed her vehicle and was arrested for driving with a suspended license. And they said, you know what? Run her through that X-ray machine, because last time she was in here, she had a whole pharmacy in her vagina. And guess what they did? They ran it through the X-ray machine and say, listen, hey, Carla, get in here. Look at that. See right there? Go on, get that out of there.
Go on, squat, Carla.
Yeah, get
Ew.
that. Crack pipe and crack
Drugs are bad.
in the veg. Again, I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's not a glove box, ladies. Oh, whenever you take a picture to post online, like you're selling something, make sure that there's nothing incriminating in the picture.
Okay.
Okay.
The lady's trying to sell her bedroom set, and she forgot that there was handcuffs on the headboard.
Well, it comes with the bedroom set.
Guess so. It took her mom to say, you may want to remove them handcuffs.
She's just trying to show people how much fun they could have with this new
Yeah.
bedroom
How
system.
versatile it is.
This bed's broken in. It's a high mileage bed. So it looks like this one town in Europe says they have a great idea to have people stop using their public restrooms for sex.
Okay.
Stop screwing in the public restrooms, could you please? Go pork somewhere else. So now they have this new system, and it's motion detected, where if they see or it mimics like you're in there having sex, it just sprays you with water. Kind of like you put hose on dogs
Like a
that are stuck in the
dog.
middle of the street. It sprays you with a blast of cold water. Like, stop it.
That
right?
may not stop some people, though.
No,
Not when you're trying to get it in.
I don't think it stopped me. I don't think it stopped this guy, too. He is a priest in Pennsylvania, and the parishioners are upset
Okay.
because he's taking money out of the collection plate.
That's not right.
Don't take the Lord's money and expect everything to be okay with you. To the tune of $100,000 that's supposed to be
What?
spent on the Lord's work. Instead, shopping sprees, trips, beach houses, and sex with other men is what they did an audit and found out he spent it on. But nothing about little boys, so I guess I'll give him a little round of applause on that.
Well, that's church has been having such bad stories. That's a good story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
actually
so
had a happy
bad.
ending. In more ways than one.
Jeez.
The scam of all scams is going on in Pennsylvania. A couple in Pennsylvania faked a pregnancy in May because they needed gifts and money. Faked the pregnancy, baby shower, gifts, money, the whole nine.
Nice.
But they didn't go just that far. Then they faked a birth. See, they did the whole baby
They gotta
shower.
continue with the
But
lie.
what was the plan when people came over to see the baby?
Then they faked the baby's death.
Damn.
Had a GoFundMe page to bury the unrealistic baby.
Wow.
The baby that is really a phony baby.
They made a lot of money.
Yeah, they duped some folks, but they didn't get too far because look right here, we're doing the story.
Yeah, if Mark's reading the story, then she didn't get away with it.
Nope.
He or she.
Was it worth it?
Well, guess what? Jerry Seinfeld is no longer the highest paid comedian. Somebody new took that distinction.
Yeah, I
Dave.
saw that.
Dave who? Chappelle?
Chapel.
Nope.
Dave Chappelle didn't even make the top 10 this time.
How is that possible?
He's not this past year.
I automatically think Kevin Hart. He's doing movies. He's doing everything.
He's in everything, and you're right. Kevin Hart is now number 1, $59 million. Jerry Seinfeld number 2. Jim Gaffigan third. Trevor Noah 4. And some guy I don't know, Sebastian Maniscalco. I don't know who he
He's
is.
making more money than Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
Absolutely.
I'm disappointed. Like I'm hurt.
Kevin Hart, $59 million is what he did. Good for Kevin Hart.
You know, we work in radio. We meet celebrities all the time. My daughter does not care, right?
Right.
It does not impress her. But the other day, I mentioned that like we hung out with Kev when he was not very big. He
Sure.
was happy that we knew one movie
Right.
he was in.
Yes, exactly.
And my daughter goes, wait, Kevin Hart knows who you are. I said, yeah, but well, maybe not anymore.
Not anymore.
But at the time, yeah. Yeah, I saw Kevin probably about 5 years ago. And he saw me and he just looked at me and he says, I know you. Where do I know you from? That's what he said to me. I
And
said,
you were like, hey, that's good enough.
exactly. Not my name, but that face of yours,
That's dope.
I've seen it. And I said, I used to do a radio show and you've been on my show several times. He goes, okay, yeah, you look mad familiar. I said, yep.
Back when he was doing the improv.
Yeah, can't do that no more. No. And last but not least, 8 out of 10 people have done this at work. Any guesses?
Had sex.
No, it's not that. I mean, you may be right, but that's not what I'm looking for.
What's the number?
8 out of 10 people
Taking
Have
a
done
nap.
This at work.
taking a nap. No. The answer is cried.
Oh.
8 out of 10 people admit that they have cried at work, according to a new study. The things that makes people cry: boss, coworkers, personal issues, overwhelmed by workload, bullying a client, or making a mistake.
I've cried a lot at work in your office.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a crybaby.
Yep. Yeah. You.
Nothing that you ever did.
I
No.
cried one time at work, and it was because we added D4L Laffy Taffy to the playlist. And I said, I know music is over.
Right. I got misty, but I didn't cry. Right. Exactly.
No, you're the boss. You got to hold
Yeah,
it
I got to
together.
hold it together, right? I didn't do it at work. I went down in the parking garage and then I cried in my car, like a
In
decent
the
person.
car.
Right. All right, there it is, McCrazy Talk, Season 1, Episode 5.
Single.
Subscribe.
College football is back this weekend. Go Gators. Down with the Canes. Go Gators.
Okay.